As we noted in the previous video, when allow user to set product size is enabled, two new panels appear. Let us examine the panel dependency of the quantity from print area. This section configures three key parameters: minimal total print area, maximum total print area, and product bleeds. Minimum print area is the equivalent of the minimum print run concept applied to the product's area. In the printing industry, there is a technical limitation on the minimum printable volume. For example, a technician may specify that it is impossible to print a product with a total area of less than 1 square meter. This is due to the specifics of printing equipment. The material is loaded into the plotter, fed through for positioning, and then cut, consuming a certain amount of material during the process. If the order totals only 10 square centimeters, most of the material loaded into the plotter will be wasted. The user is usually not willing to pay a high price for such a small volume, while the cost of printing may exceed the revenue. It is precisely for such cases that a restriction on minimum print area is introduced. In the quantity settings, we define the minimum print run value, for example from 10. In this case, orders with a lower quantity will not be accepted from the client. What happens if the minimum quantity of 10 sheets is set via the quantity selection slider, but the user wants to print a very small size, for example 10 by 10 millimeters? This will be multiplied by the minimum print run of 10 units, and as a result, the total area printed for an order with a run of 10 and size 10 by 10 millimeters will be only 1000 square millimeters. In this case, half of the material will end up in the trash. The current settings we have: minimum width value of 50 millimeters, minimum height value of 50 millimeters, that is, the minimum product area is 2500 square millimeters, and the minimum print run is 10. The minimum size that the calculator can calculate is 2500 square millimeters. This is not enough to print one full sheet if we are using sheet-fed printing. But let us imagine that the user selects a width of 500 millimeters and a height of 500 millimeters, 250,000 square millimeters, and a minimum print run of 10, totaling 2,500,000 square millimeters. And this is a great job. But what can we do to avoid printing that small print run of 1000 square millimeters? We cannot increase the minimum print run of 10, as that would prevent users like the one in the previous example from ordering 10 stickers of large size with a total area of 2,500,000 square millimeters. At the same time, we also do not want to print 10 units of the minimum size of 50 millimeters width. So what can we do to avoid this situation? We can limit the minimum and, if necessary, the maximum area for our convenience. If we set a minimum area, the calculator will select and suggest to the user such a print run that, with the dimensions chosen by the user, would match the minimum printable area. That is, the same minimum print run, now measured in minimum area. Let us define a product bleed of 10 millimeters. Enable it, save the settings, and check it on the website. The width and height remain 50 millimeters as before, but the minimum print run became 40, and selecting less than 40 is not allowed. As you remember, the fixed quantity values in the settings are defined as 10, 20, 30 sheets, and so on. But as you can see here, these values are not available. The system does not allow the user to order such small stickers with a print run of less than 40 units. Let's change the size to 100 by 100 millimeters. As you can see, the minimum print run became 20 units. That is, the system automatically selects the allowable minimum print run for the dimensions chosen by the user. If the user selects a size of 200 by 200 millimeters, the minimum print run becomes 10 units. This is how quantity dependency on print area works.